Welcome back to the 12 pastas of Christmas. This being the 9th pasta. Don't worry, we're 3/4 of the way through. Today I decided to look through the creepypasta wiki instead of the Trollpasta wiki, and I found something that has a rating of 4.9 out of 10. And a lot of people don't like it because it's just not very good. And I figured that's usually how parodies and trollpastics go. Estimated reading time is 4 minutes. We'll see if this is short or not. I'm not sure if it's actually that short. Anyway, let's get into this. Patrick Finn arrived home from his Christmas conquests. Conquests? Beating out the snowstorm by mere miles, mere minutes. He felt not only the foreboding presence of a hazardous blizzard, but also that of something else, something darker. It felt as if it resonated not only within his soul, but also within the souls of those around High. Not him, High. Within the very ground itself. Patrick had never bothered to check, but he was sure that beneath the grass and soil of Winter Harbor, Maine, therein hungered a gaping mouth or chasm, yearning for the flesh of the innocent. This is the most pretentious thing I think I've ever read. And anchored to the physical world only by a desire to seem normal. Sorry, it was so ridiculous, I had to ham that up. It had not yet been appeased because the residents of Winter Harbor were all but innocent. Okay. Patrick had moved to Winter Harbor hoping to escape the despondency and despair. Who the hell uses the word despondency? I have never heard a human being say that. Either in a story that wasn't an old-ass book, or especially not in talking to somebody. Throw that into a conversation. Just do it. See how somebody reacts. Just nonchalantly. You gotta make sure you do it correctly. It's like, yeah, I just hated living over here, you know. I had to get away from the despondency and everything. Watch their face when you say despondency. I guarantee you they're gonna look at you like, what the hell did you just say? Yeah. Anyway, so far these feelings had only amplified, magnified by both the wintry death that he felt tiptoeing in the town's midst and the lingering scent of paint that seemed to permeate every building in the city. This almost feels like it's trying to be Silent Hill. It was as if the town was constantly being repainted in some sort of half-hearted attempt to cover something up. Still, he felt it necessary to stay, so he's an idiot. So as not to make matters worse for his wife, who he barely saw anymore, and his son, who always seemed so distant. Oh, someone's a bad father. I know what that's like. What? I'm not a father. I just have a bad father. Anyway, sorry. TMI. Also, it's been 4 minutes. So as not to make matters... Oh, wait. Nope, we already read that. He and his wife were going through a rife time in their marriage. A rife time? You're a piece of work. And their son was feeling its effects. It was akin to what one may feel after a tumultuous earthquake. Stop with the words. The big words, the big fancy words. Patrick felt that he had to make it up to his son, and so he went out and bought him the most expensive and extravagant thing he could get his hands on this late in the shopping season. A brand new video game system. Yes, when all else fails, buy your son's love with a Switch. Or PS5. Yes, I don't know. He assured his son that Though he had acted out often this year, Santa would bring him something good. Throughout these charades, Patrick felt empty at the prospect of shipping for a boy. He's shopping? Shipping for a boy he knew nothing about? Are you shipping him with classmates? I've only had that happen to me once. I had a teacher ship me and my girlfriend. She thought that, my girlfriend and I would be like super cute as a couple, and she absolutely lost her mind when she found out that she and I were dating. Anyway, Patrick felt a boy whose existence was forgotten every so often. Okay, on the even of Christmas, Patrick arrived home before the snowstorm and quickly crept into the garage to wrap the present and place it under the tree. It was in his garage that he often felt abrupt changes, as if within its small space it contained secrets beyond human comprehension. Okay. The musky smell of the old holiday decorations. I love the smell of holiday decorations, by the way. Coupled with the omnipresent scent of fresh paint, varnish, and gasoline all seemed to meld into one personified force, whispering sweet nothings into Patrick as he exited his car. This caused him to shudder heavily, as if set by a fit of delirium tremens. Tremens? Okay. I don't know if tremens is a word. Do you mean tremors? He shrugged off the dull headache and dry mouth before quickly and sloppily wrapping the gift. It's not hard to wrap a box, dude. Following this, he slipped it under the tree and began to creep upstairs. He couldn't help but grimace at the thought that he was as far as Santa as humanly possible. My son hates me, I'm Krampus. That's what I think of when I hear the opposite of Santa. I think of Krampus. Yeah. As he reached the top of the landing, Patrick glanced over at the clock. It read 11:49. He stood there as if to wait for some fleeting childhood feeling that may accompany the arrival of Christmas. It did not come, as he soon found, nor did cheery music, nor the scent of evergreens and cookies. Just deafening silence and that damnable scent of paint. Somebody doesn't like the smell of paint. And that's understandable, I hate it too. I like the smell of gasoline, but I just don't like the smell of paint. I don't huff gasoline, it's just, I like how it smells. It's like when I go and get gas, I just like, oh, it smells nice. Anyway, this is why the reading time is taking long, because I won't shut up. Where? Oh, there I am. The arrival of yet another disappointing Christmas struck Patrick like a blow to the face. He fell to his knees, then subsequently onto his stomach. He couldn't tell if he had passed out or not. So what, you just decided to drop? Okay. Suddenly, a loud sound in his son's room jarred Patrick awake. He quickly got up and stumbled into the room. The popping sound he had heard made him wonder what had made it. And when he finally found out, he was confused even further. A black humanoid, adorned with goat horns and a tongue that writhed like a snake, stood before him. Krampus? Clutching his son. Patrick stood dumbfounded, seemingly incapable of recognizing not only the creature, but anything else before him. What do you want? Patrick asked. Innately, he knew that the creature wanted something. The creature smiled, licking its lips. Thine tender fruit, not spoiled by the worms of the new, but by the tree that bore it, ripened not into ambrosia, but a rotten hollow core. Sorry, again, had to ham it up because it's pretentious. Patrick stared at the creature, sweat began to collection on his brow. He felt as if his brain itself had been lit afire. He couldn't breathe. I can't say I understand, Patrick stammered out. The creature smiled again. Not by the love of a dying star can a planet be adorned, but by the eruption of its most sacred peaks. a planet. Sorry. Don't want to disparage this good story. I desire the treasures from which you hope to find salvation. The gift to your boy. It is a gift for me. Now, give me the PS5, Patrick. Your son's a little shit. Patrick couldn't understand why the creature would want the game system, but he felt it necessary to give it up. He quickly bolted downstairs. Grabbing the box and clutching it tight, he sprinted back up to his son's room. The creature, upon his arrival, thrust Patrick's son to the floor and held out one long, beckoning hand. He really wants to play the new Spider-Man game. As Patrick handed over the present, he couldn't help but feel as if he were Faust himself. Okay, exchanging an eternity for one single moment of gratification. The creature licked its lips once more and disappeared in the time it took Patrick to blink. Alright. When he was assured... When he was sure he as alone... Not was alone, as alone. Patrick fell to his knees and wrapped his arms around his son. He expected a thank you, and I love you, something. He heard nothing. He looked down. He found his son was withering away, becoming the very shadows that inhibited the night around him. Patrick knew at that moment that he was entirely alone, swallowed by the chasm beneath his feet. He stumbled to the garage before sitting down, embracing his solitude and his communion with the musky smell of paint that seemed to beckon and invite him. And that was a story. It has potential to be good. I will say that. It's not like intentionally bad, but this was old as hell. Like over a decade old. September 3rd, 2010. I just looked up. I don't know if I said what the name of the story was, but that was A Painted Christmas. I expected more paint from the title. Come to your own conclusions, I guess. A link will be in the description, of course, as always. I hope you guys aren't getting too sick of these stories. There's only 3 left. And see you tomorrow, I guess. Bye.